Alexandra Eala's epic training session with tennis legend Rafael Nadal, prepping for 2026 in style. The air in Manacor was different that morning, charged, almost humming. The sun had barely risen over Mallorca, yet the Rafa Nadal Academy was already awake with the sharp pop of tennis balls, the grind of clay under shoes, and the unmistakable rhythm of greatness in the making. But on this day, the center of gravity felt shifted. A new energy pulsed through the courts, one that even the seasoned coaches could sense. Alexandra Eala had returned, not as a teenage prodigy, not as a rising star, but as a young warrior preparing for the defining season of her career, 2026. And waiting at the far end of the court, with a racket in hand, a familiar stoic expression, and the presence of storm contained, was a man whose name shaped an era, Rafael Nadal, the silence before the storm. Alex's footsteps slowed as she entered Court 7, where she had trained countless summers in her youth. Back then, she had been the kid who bounced around the academy with eyes full of dreams, believing that one day she would carry the fire of Filipino tennis to the world stage. Today, she carried something heavier, expectation, pressure, and a hunger sharpened by the setbacks of 2025. Nadal turned, offering the unmistakable half-smile that had both intimidated and inspired generations of players. "You look stronger," he said, tapping his racket on his palm. "Good, because this session will not be easy." Alex grinned, breath steady. "I didn't come here for easy." And just like that, words ended. Training began. Rafa's drills, the school of pain. If someone had walked into Court 7 unprepared, they would have sworn a war was taking place. Balls ricocheted like bullets. Alex and Nadal moved with the precision of dancers and the intensity of fighters. Every point was sharp, every rally long, every command from Rafa's coach Carlos Moya a challenge disguised as encouragement. Again, recover faster. No fear on the forehand. Rafa fed balls at blistering speeds, testing Alex's movement, her resilience, her discipline. The famous Nadal forehand, heavy whipping, exploding off the clay, came at her repeatedly, but Alex met each one with determination carved into her expression. Her legs burned, her lungs ached. The Mallorcan sun beat down without mercy. But Alex Eala refused to back down. Not today, not in front of her idol. At one point, after an especially punishing 32-shot rally that ended with Alex landing a forehand winner down the line, Rafa raised an eyebrow. "You hit that like you meant it," he said. "I did," Alex replied. "Good," Rafa smirked. "Then you can handle the next drill." And the next one was even worse. What 2025 took and what 2026 promised. Between water breaks, the world briefly felt still. Nadal took a seat beside her. His energy, usually volcanic on court, softened into something almost fatherly. "You had a difficult 2025, he said. Alex looked down at her towel, shoulders falling for the first time that morning. "Yeah, I didn't think it would hit that hard. The early exits, the injuries, the pressure of expectations from a nation that believed in her magic, the noise, the doubts. It happens to everyone," Nadal said gently. "But not everyone rises." He tapped her chest lightly. "Rising starts here." Alex swallowed, nodding. "I want 2026 to be my breakthrough." "You want it," Rafa corrected. "But will you fight for it? Every point? Every day? Even when you are tired? Even when you want to disappear?" Alex met his eyes. "Yes." Rafa stood, picking up his racket again. "Then show me." The match that wasn't a match. The coaches cleared the court. The academy students gathered at the railings. Word spread fast. Rafa and Alex were about to play a practice set. Not a friendly hit. Not a soft exhibition. But a real set. The kind of set where reputations were sharpened and futures were carved. They warmed up in total silence. Then the scoreboard beeped. ELA versus Nadal. Practice set. 1st to 6. The opening rally lasted 19 shots. Alex won with a cross-court angle Nadal didn't expect. Somewhere in the crowd, someone whispered, "She's different this year." Rafa, unfazed, simply tightened his grip. The second point was his. The third was hers. The fourth was a blistering Rafa forehand winner. Point by point, game by game, the set became something legendary, not because of who won, but because of how Alex fought. She slid on clay with Rafa-like determination. She chased down balls she had no right to reach. She countered Rafa's heavy spin with fearless aggression. She played like someone who had learned to carry pressure like armor. At 4-4, Rafa's expression shifted from mentor to competitor. At 5-5, Alex's chest rose and fell like a second heartbeat drum. And when the score hit 6-6, Rafa turned to Carlos. Tiebreak. Everyone in the academy seemed to hold their breath. The tiebreak of truth. The tiebreak was a masterpiece. Alex went up 2-0. Rafa tied it at 2-2. Alex hit a stunning backhand pass for 3-2. Rafa responded with a serve out wide for 3-3. At 4-4, the tension was electric. Rafa approached the net, attacking with classic purpose. Alex ripped a forehand that clipped the line. 5-4, Alex. Then Rafa clapped, slowly, proudly. "You are ready," he said, still catching his breath. "Now the real work begins." The lessons no one sees. After the match, Rafa walked with her toward the recovery room. "You move differently today," he said. "Not just with your feet, but with your mind." Alex smiled faintly. "You always said tennis is mental." "Everything is mental," Rafa corrected. "The player who controls their mind controls the court." He pushed open the door, letting her enter first. "If you want 2026 to be your year, remember one thing: consistency, not perfection. You will lose matches. You will doubt yourself again. But you must keep fighting." Alex nodded deeply. "I will." Rafa placed a hand on her shoulder. "And remember, you do not play for the critics or the noise or the pressure. You play for the girl who came here years ago, dreaming of moments like today." Her throat tightened. That girl, the one with the dreams, the one who never stopped believing. "Thank you," she whispered. But Rafa shook his head. "No, thank yourself. You earned today." The look of 2026. Later that afternoon, Alex walked out of the academy gates with her bag slung over her shoulder, the Mediterranean breeze brushing her hair. She was tired, sore, sweaty, and absolutely alive. Her phone buzzed with messages, fans, family, coaches, reporters, but she ignored all of them for a moment. She looked at her reflection in a window, a young woman forged by struggle, sharpened by failure, strengthened by mentors, and now stepping into her power. 2026 would not be easy, but she was ready, because she had trained with fire, with purpose, with Rafael Nadal himself. And she had survived. No, she had thrived. Alex Eala walked down the road from the academy with the confidence of someone who had just rewritten her future. This was not just a training session. It was a statement, a new beginning, a spark, a promise to herself. This year, I rise. This year, I conquer. This year, I become the player I was meant to be. And as the sun dipped behind the hills of Mallorca, Alex knew one truth with absolute clarity. 2026 wouldn't just be her comeback year. It would be her breakthrough. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.